welcome to yet another edition of Dr. D's Econet. Today's valued guest is the former head of the Department of the Postgraduate and Research Department of Economics at Raj College, former principal Soka University, and professor and head of economics currently at the Haromaya University, Ethiopia. Well, my guest is someone who is a perfect epitome of disciplineship, scholarliness, coupled with being an indubitable personality. Her breadth of knowledge is immeasurable, and that is what sparks a passion for learning. As an educator, her demonstrations inspire, encourage, and challenge students. Her holistic approaches to course materials resonate with students even today. Dr. Renuka chiefly exudes tremendous capability of reducing knowledge to its simplest components. A thorough professional by nature, an exemplary academic advisor who holds an invincible and contagious interest in the stomping grounds of teaching and research. It is a great pleasure, privilege, and honor for me to be introducing and welcoming my today's most venerated guest, Dr. V. Renuka Devi.
Welcome to yet another edition of Dr. D's Econet. My today's guest is an extremely special person because of myriad reasons. We have had long associations, the mutual interests we have held as far as discussions are concerned, the guidance, the invaluable guidance I may say, that she has rendered at every step for me, not just me, but for all her students. I am extremely ecstatic and elated and happy that my next guest on the show is the former head of the Department of the Postgraduate and Research Department of Economics at Raj College, Dr. V. Renuka ma'am. Welcome ma'am to my show. How do you feel to be on Dr. D's Econet?
I'm very happy to participate in this Econet. My best wishes to you, Dr. Divya, and also for all your endeavors. Really, it is immense happy for me to take part in it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a pleasure having you. And I wanted to do this for a very long time. But I guess as God has his own days and we are destined to do certain things on certain days, and so this be it. So I'm very happy that this day has come and I'm finally having you on board and interviewing you. Thank you so much. Ma'am, before we get on with the main session, the question answer session, I would like to ask one question before that. Since you have worked in Ethiopia, Haromaya University for quite some time now, how is the modus operandi different from that of India?
In most of the academic activities are similar activities in Ethiopia. But as far as autonomy is concerned, especially autonomy for teachers, professors of Haromaya University is a complete autonomy. The syllabus part, the university has set all the syllabus of the economics department and also the entire courses. Here, the Ministry of Education involves in framing the curriculum of all the courses. I have taught MSc Energy Economics for the economics students. They have the special subject on energy economics. We'll have to apply all our economics, quantitative technique, mathematics for economists, statistics for economists, probability theory, and especially econometrics. We'll have to apply the knowledge of all these subjects in the energy economics. It's a very nice experience because I've learned each and every chapter, every concept, because it's a new area. We'll have to connect the energy side also in economics. Therefore, it's a very new experience for me, and I've learned so much. The autonomy is concerned, the complete exercises of setting up question papers, evaluation method, distributing the answer scripts, discussion with the students, and then we can submit to the registrar office. Here, we are having one-to-one face-to-face discussion about their performance in the paper. In India, once you write the examination, university examination, you will have to go for evaluation and so on. But here, the students can straight away come to us. They will raise the question, why did you give 1 mark in this, half a mark in this? Why did you give maximum mark here? All that questions raised by the students. Therefore, then and there we finish the process of evaluation. We can submit to the registrar office. Therefore, I liked it. As per the timetable, we can go and take the classes. But if you would like to take extra hours, continuous 3 hours of classes, we can have a discussion with the students. If they are willing to come at any time for any number of hours, we are ready to take, and they are also ready to come and attend the classes. And the students are very, very disciplined students. The co-ed institutions, all universities are co-ed institutions. Really, I have enjoyed the Ethiopian way of education.
Uh, Really, I think the transition has been fantastic, and you have enjoyed so much the entire process and the journey that, many a times your students, we miss you here, in our land. And so, but anyways, we have made up for that through this particular conversation. So thank you for this. Heading to the main section, the Q&A. I start with the first question, ma'am. Teachers have experienced a sudden kind of an overnight shift from, teaching in person to e-learning or online learning. How has this particular transition been, according to you?
We have experienced, enjoyed and admired face-to-face teaching. And the charm of that face-to-face teaching and learning have benefited students as well as teachers. I remember very well when I taught mathematics for economists to you. So I can see your face and your classmates' face. I have admired the way in which you have solved the problems in the class in your notebook, because we used to walk up and down and see whether the students are writing or they can able to solve it, they can understand the concept, apply the concept properly or not. So we can see, and easily we can read the minds of the students also. According to it, we used to teach, and we used to have a slight change, modification in teaching to make the students to understand the concepts very clearly. Even I can say, if I want to say a squared also, while I am explaining a squared, I can straight away say that a into a squared. Okay,
Yeah.
but I used to sometimes know non-mathematics students are also admitted in the undergraduate courses. That time, the very, very poor background to children, they can't even understand how do we derive a squared equal to a into a equal to a squared. Isn't it? That time I
Yes.
used to say a is a to the power of 1 into a to the power of 1, which is equal to a to the power of 1 plus 1 equal to a square. No, because this is very simple. Anyone can understand. But even then, if we teach in this way, they can easily understand, and they can quickly absorb formulas, then application, etc.
Yes.
We really enjoyed that. The charm of face to face cannot be replaced by virtual classroom.
Absolutely, I cannot agree more.
Yes, this virtual classroom, by its very essence or nature, not completely real. That is why I said this teaching in person cannot replace by virtual classroom. But this e-learning is a boon for teachers and students, and it is a way to connect and engage students effectively during this COVID situation. If you think the impact, the heavy impact of this pandemic affected educational institutions also very badly.
Yeah.
That is why the trend of e-learning is growing exclusively in all educational institutions.
Absolutely. I think to add to this, I would say that, since we all belong to the developing nation, and this is a blessing in disguise and a benediction, a big, big boon because this time, because, this gives the opportunity and paves the way for us to be, technologically savvy and improve ourselves as individuals, and be at par with the advanced nations.
But somehow, teachers as well as students have benefits and face problems in using it. See, looking at the option, as you said, the option at present is e-learning only. That is why the teachers are promoting e-learning by teaching students in how to properly use the internet in order to understand the subjects concerned.
Yeah.
At the same time, the teachers, students, kids, and learners in general are very, very smart enough to adapt to the situation in terms of e-learning. Thus, this e-learning is a very effective and important tool.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is a temporary substitute for face-to-face teaching and learning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As you said before, nothing can replace the original way of teaching.
Yes, yes. Because we have cherished the sweet memories of those face-to-face learning as a student and as a teacher.
Yes. Question number 2, ma'am.
Yes.
Has this forced digitalization of teaching and learning proven to be a sustainable solution during this pandemic period?
In this pandemic situation, safety is first. Life is precious, and the rest will take their shape gradually. See, the compulsion of the time. In Tamil, we used to say Kalathin Kattayam. Makes us to say this digitalization of teaching and learning is a suitable solution and not a sustainable solution.
Correct. Correct.
The word post digitalization in the question, it's a beautifully framed by you, Divya. I would like to appreciate you. The particular word post digitalization. This post digitalization gives actual strength and energy to the academic world and also molding the students step by step to use digitalization for self-guidance, self-creation, self-interest, all put together, it will react to self-motivation.
Yes.
Self-motivation plays a vital role in order to involve and come under the system of e-learning for the purpose of acquiring knowledge for the sake of the student's future.
Yeah, true. It's, as you said, ma'am, it's very important in situations like these to be very pragmatic. Practicality matters a lot. And, digitalization or e-learning or online learning is the need of the hour at the moment, as you
Yes.
said, and just a very transient solution, not a permanent one.
Yes.
Yes. Going on to question number 3, ma'am.
Yes.
What kind of issues did you encounter or experience as regards to e-teaching or propagation of online education?
As far as the students from cities are very comfortable, they may have little bit here and there problems. But health issues are concerned, whether the students are from urban areas or semi-urban or rural area, all are facing the similar type of health issues.
Yes.
High problems, back pain, and then difficult to move from here and there. But the charm of classroom teaching is entirely different. No, they face students, they look at the teachers, they look at their classmates, they can share their views, etc. But all these are absent in this e-learning process.
Yeah.
There are two major issues
Mm-hmm.
faced by the teachers and students, those who are from the remote places in our country. They are number one, bad strength of internet connectivity.
Yeah.
And the second one is audibility issues.
Mm.
So these issues become frustrating to the students as well as learners. Observing this question, we can conduct a survey from various angles, and then even we can find out the minute issues, and we can have one more session of discussion in detail about
Yeah.
the issues we can
Correct.
keep on talking, from the kids side, from the adult students, from the elder side, from UPSC examination students, etc. So each category of each level of ages face different type of problems and issues. Even we can have an
Absolutely. Yeah, that should be great.
online survey, and again we'll have one more discussion about it. And you can have a discussion. You can have a panel of discussion with
Yeah.
uh, students, teachers, and then the general learners, etc.
Yeah, essentially to get the perspective of the different age groups as well as the categories and what they perceive or think about.
Yes,
Fantastic, ma'am. Question number 4, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
We also have online seminars and conferences in the form of live webinars and webcasts. Do you regard these as a virtual platform for creative engagement?
It's a very beautiful question. Creative engagements. It speaks a lot, Divya, because creation itself is a very beauty. If you look at the nature, or if you look at the drawing by the students, and then any games, dance, we can do different way of creation. Even see nowadays the young singers, the same old songs, but
Yeah.
they put different ragas and different, they are including different instrumentation in it, and they bring the beauty through the creation. So in this e-learning process also, that webinar, Zoom, Google Duo, etc. Creative engagements are very colorful,
Yeah.
eventful, and successful in this virtual platform.
Yeah.
I have participated in a few virtual programs. One such program was on the subject cyber security, cyber forensics, and
Mm-hmm.
cyber laws.
Okay.
It is a 6-day short-term training program
Mm-hmm.
from 31st August 2020 to 5th September 2020, which was organized by School of Computing Science. Under the school, the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Hindustan Institute of Technology, Chennai. Three participants have listened to very fantastic and effective speeches, and the speakers have given very informative videos and colorful visuals.
Wow.
Colorful visuals, not only different colors, even in the black and white, they did a magic to represent their concept, and they made us to listen to that magic world of sketch, and they raised the questions. Each and every one of us started giving different angles.
Mm.
And the correct answers were appreciated and the right answers were discussed very beautifully. And
Okay.
we too had very lively interaction sections also. See, in connection with cyber laws, I'm an economics based professor. Cyber laws, I am totally illiterate in the lines of cyber laws, but I have understood at least the basic of cyber laws. I can even guide someone to take a right path in these case of issues. So this team, the team members know, if the team members are do it in a very cooperative way, these
Hmm.
kind of virtual platform will be really successful. That is proved by the team members of that Department of Computer Science and Engineering from that college. So really, we all the participants have enjoyed a lot. Like this, I have attended some more virtual platform program also. That is the doctor's presentation, and then judges talk on many issue, many matters, very lively matters. We can have the health talks, then revolution talks,
Mm-hmm.
historical talk, and so on. Really, I admire this kind of a virtual program. It is amazing.
Yeah. And as you correctly said, creativity has absolutely no limits.
Yes,
And when it amalgamates or blends well with this kind of a platform, it is chimerical, it is magical. And that is what we all want to experience, in this kind of a situation. Definitely, even in the normal situations. But I think when we are put in this kind of a situation, the outcome like this is definitely cherishable.
really.
The last question, ma'am. No doubt the current pandemic has disrupted the academic activities. Under such circumstances or situations, in your opinion, how should the teaching staff dispense duties?
Teachers themselves are duty conscious
Mm.
people. They wanted to impart very good online education as well as our classroom education. The most concern about education to all is quality education.
Yeah.
They should not prepare anything at the cost of the quality education. Quality. Uh, Therefore, the teacher should concentrate on quality way of imparting the subjects,
Hmm.
for which teachers should prepare quality content in such a way that
Hmm.
the students can access to that content. That content may be in the form of verbal,
Yeah.
then visual, and then videos,
Yeah.
case studies in the form of interactive sections,
Mm-hmm.
etc. It will make the students in an unlimited number of times
Mm-hmm.
keep on repeating, going on, opening that particular sessions, reading again and again. It
Yeah.
will help them to understand the concept very clearly. Understanding is very important. That too,
Yeah.
this is a virtual classroom. Therefore, it's the duty of the teachers to make the students understand properly, and
Yeah.
they should get a very crystal clear knowledge about the subject.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, they'll have to apply the knowledge of the subject wherever it is possible in their
Yeah.
life. And the foremost important thing, for them to take up their examination very successfully.
Yeah, yeah.
The successful rate of their performance in the examination only will take them to the next step, for which they need the quality content from the teachers. So my humble request to all the teachers to prepare a very quality content for the sake of students' future.
I think whatever you said is golden words, because quality should never be compromised, at any cost. And more so when it comes to education and academia. And with this, I really feel extremely happy that I had a wonderful conversation with you on something that was extremely important and highly informative to not just the audience of my YouTube channel, but even students and other teachers across the globe who would be possibly looking out for a lot of information and awareness that possibly they long to know. And through this medium and through you and through all other senior professors who have been a part of my life, and all other students have been so lucky to have you all, you have taken your time out from your schedule and you have scheduled an interview with us, and you have done it so beautifully. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I am indebted to all of you for the rest of my life.
My humble request to all the teachers, students, and parents: follow safety measures very systematically. Life is very, very precious. We need you all. Thank you so much, Divya, for having given me an opportunity to have a talk on e-learning, benefits, and issues. My best wishes to you for all your endeavors. Bless you, my dear Divya.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And just one last thing I want you to add. A small message for your former department at Raj College. It's a surprise. I was thinking a message for all those lovely teachers out there who are missing you from the time you have gone from the department, and they would love to hear something from you. And this is what I was thinking for long, and I wanted you to speak a few words for them.
Under the headship of Dr. D.B. Usharani, and faculty members are doing a wonderful job, and they've motivated students in their own style, and they've expanded various programs, and that too in this present scenario, with so much risk, they can able to impart and cover the subject through online education. And I am happy that they are continue to do the mathematics related paper, and they are telling the importance of learning econometrics, and then they've made the students who understand the combination of economics, mathematics, statistics, and econometrics, how these subjects are very, very important, and it gives significance whenever they take up the research program. So my best wishes and my blessings to all the teachers and the students of economics department at Raj College for Women.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those serenic and lovely words. We will continue to miss you and hope to meet you soon at ETRAS sometime. Take care of yourself and please do stay safe. Thank you for joining in with me on my channel, which is Dr. D's Econet. Thank you.
Welcome.